Okay, good evening. We're back with the book of Judges, Judges chapter 1. Judah and Simeon conquered the land. After Joshua died, the Israelites asked the Lord, "Which tribe should attack the Canaanites first?" The Lord answered, "Judah, for I have given them victory over the land." The leaders of Judah said to their relatives from the tribe of Simeon, Join with us to fight against the Canaanites living in the territory allotted to us. Then we will help you conquer your territory." So the men of Simeon went with Judah. When the men of Judah attacked, the Lord gave them victory over the Canaanites and Perizzites. So then they killed 10,000 enemy warriors at the town of Bezek. While at Bezek, they encountered King Adoni-Bezek and fought against him, and the Canaanites and the Perizzites were defeated. Adoni-Bezek escaped, but the Israelites soon captured him and cut off his limbs and big toes. Oh. Adoni-Bezek said, "I once had 70 kings with thumbs and big toes cut off, eating scraps from under my table. Now God has paid me back for what I did to them. They took him to Jerusalem, and he died there." The men of Judah attacked Jerusalem and captured it, killing all its people and setting the city on fire. Then they turned south to fight the Canaanites living in the hill country, the Negev, and the western foothills. Judah marched against the Canaanites in Hebron, formerly called Kiriath Arba, defending the forces of Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmah from Ptolemy. From there they marched against the people living in the town of Dibur, formerly called Kiriath Sepher. Then Caleb said, "I give my daughter Aksah in marriage to the one who attacks and captures Kithra Sephor." Othniel, the son of Caleb's younger brother Kenaz, was the one who captured it. Aksah became Othniel's wife. When Aksah married Othniel, she urged him to ask her father for an additional field. She got down off her donkey. Caleb asked her, "What is it? What can I do for you?" She said, "Give me a further blessing. You have been kind enough to give me the land in the Negev. Please give me springs as well." So Caleb gave her the upper and lower springs. When the tribe of Judah left Jericho, the Kenites, who were descendants of Moses' father-in-law, traveled with them into the wilderness of Judah. They settled among the people there near the town of Arad in the Negev. Then Judah joined with Simeon to fight against the Canaanites living in Zephath, and they completely destroyed the town. So the town was named Hormah. In addition, Judah captured the cities of Gaza, Ashkelon, and Ekron, along with their surrounding territories. Israel fails to conquer the land. The Lord was with the people of Judah, and they took possession of the hill country, but they failed to drive out the people living in the plains because the people there had iron chariots. The city of Hebron was given to Caleb as Joseph had promised, and Caleb drove out the people living there, who were descendants of the 3 sons of Anak. The tribe of Benjamin, however, failed to drive out the Jebusites who were living in Jerusalem. So to this day the Jebusites live in Jerusalem among the people of Benjamin. The descendants of Joseph attacked the town of Bethel, and the land was with them. They sent spies to Bethel, formerly known as Luz, who confronted a man coming out of the city. They said to him, "Show us a way to the city, and we will have mercy on you." So he showed them a way in, and they killed everyone in the city except for this man and his family. Later the man moved to the land of the Hittites, where he built a city. He named the city Luz, and it is known by that name to this day. The tribe of Manasseh failed to drive out the people living in Beth-shan, Tanakhdor, Iblim, Megiddo, and their surrounding villages, because the Canaanites were determined to stay in that region. When the Israelites grew stronger, they forced the Canaanites to work as slaves, but they never did drive them out of the land. The tribe of Ephraim also failed to drive out the Canaanites living in Gezer, and so the Canaanites continued to live there among them. The tribe of Zebulun also failed to drive out the Canaanites living in Kitron and Nylon, or however you pronounce that, who continued to live among them, but they forced them to work as slaves. The tribe of Asher also failed to drive out the residents of Akko, Sidon, Alab, Akzib, Hilbah, Afkik, and Rehob. In fact, because they did not drive them out, the Canaanites dominated the land where the people of Asher lived. The tribe of Naphtali also failed to drive out the residents of Beth Shemesh and Beth Anath. Instead, the Canaanites dominated the land wherever they lived. Nevertheless, the people of Beth Shemesh and Beth Anath were sometimes forced to work as slaves for the people of Naphtali. As for the tribe of Dan, the Amorites were determined to stay in Mount Heres, Ajalon, and Shalbim, but when the descendants of Joseph became stronger, they forced the Amorites to work as slaves. The boundary of the Amorites ran from Scorpion Pass to Shelah and to continue upward from there. Okay, we got Judges chapter 2. The Lord's messenger comes to Bochim. The angel of the Lord went out from Gilgal to Bochim with a message for the Israelites. He told them, I brought you out of Egypt into this land that I swore to give your ancestors, and I said you would never break my covenant with you. For your part, you were not to make any covenants with the people living in this land. Instead, you were to destroy their altars. Why then have you disobeyed my commandment? Since you have done this, I will no longer drive out your people living in your land. They will be thorns on your sides, and their gods will be a constant temptation to you. When the angel of the Lord finished speaking, the Israelites wept loudly. So they called the place Weeping, and they offered sacrifices to the Lord. Joshua dies. After Joshua sent the people away, each of the tribes left to take possession of the land allotted to them. And the Israelites served the Lord throughout the lifetime of Joshua and the leaders who outlived him, those who had seen all the great things the Lord had done for Israel. Then Joshua, son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died at the age of 110. They buried him in the land he had inherited at Timnath-Serah in the hill country of Ephron, north of Mount Gash. Israel disobeys God. After the generation died, another generation grew up who did not acknowledge the Lord or remember the mighty things he had done for Israel. Then the Israelites did what was evil in the Lord's sight and worshipped the images of Baal. They abandoned the Lord, the God of their ancestors, who had brought them out of Egypt. They chased after other gods, worshipping the gods of the people around them, and they angered the Lord. They abandoned the Lord to serve Baal and the images of Ashtaroth. This made the Lord burn with anger against Israel, so he handed them over to the Mardors, who stole their possessions, sold them to their enemies all around, and they were no longer able to resist them. Every time Israel went out to battle, the Lord fought against them, bringing them defeat just as he promised, and the people were very distressed. God rescues his people. Then the Lord raised up judges to rescue the Israelites from their enemies. Yet Israel did not listen to the judges, but prostituted themselves to other gods, bowing down to them. How quickly they turned away from the path of their ancestors, who had walked in obedience to the Lord's commands. Whenever the Lord placed a judge over Israel, he was with that judge and rescued the people from their enemies throughout the judge's lifetime. For the Lord took pity on his people who were burdened by oppression and suffering. But when the judge died, the people returned to their corrupt ways. Behaving worse than those who had lived before them, they followed other gods, worshipping and bowing down to them, and they refused to give up their evil practices and stubborn ways. So the Lord burned with anger against Israel. He said, because these people have violated the covenant I made with their ancestors and have ignored my commands, I will no longer drive out the nations that Joshua left unconquered when he died. I did this to test Israel to see whether or not they would obey the Lord as their ancestors did. This is why the Lord did not quickly drive the nations out or allow Joshua to conquer them all. Okay, and tomorrow I'll be back with Judges chapter 3.